What's up, locals? As it is September, it's a perfect time of year to talk a little bit about glow-in-the-dark disc golf. When I initially heard of glow-in-the-dark disc golf, I thought it was like kind of quirky and just thought, oh, why would I play at night? And then I got out and actually tried it, and with the same reasons why we love playing disc golf in terms of the flight of the disc, there's something very visual about watching a disc that's glowing at night, fly through the air. It's the same thing, but it is different. And I found to some extent I loved playing in the evening. It's quieter, there's not as many people out. You're just kind of focused on the basket, and it's a very sort of calm, relaxing way to play. It can be fun, it can be very social if you've got a glow league, which we're fortunate enough here in Calgary to have an amazing glow league. We are going to do a little series covering a bunch of different topics in glow disc golf, talking about different plastics. We're going to talk about different lighting solutions for your disc. But at the very core of glow disc golf, all you need is a disc that glows and a UV flashlight. A non-UV flashlight, just a traditional flashlight, will light the disc a little, but not to the same effect that a UV flashlight does. To me, it's totally worth getting one. So our first episode here, we're going to just talk about plastic. We're going to talk about the discs that glow, and I'm going to show you some examples of different manufacturers, how their discs vary in brightness, and the advantages and disadvantages of a brighter disc. Looking at even things like color glow. Both of these discs actually do glow, which is extremely useful on a day round. If you only play a little bit of glow, color glow might be a great option for you. And if you are like me and you play a lot in the evenings, then a more traditional glow, which is sort of this kind of creamy color, may be a better option for you. Here I have, this one is an MVP branded UV flashlight, but any UV flashlight will work. I'll actually leave a couple of links down in the description to a couple of options that are available. I'm going to start with talking a little bit about the plastic. You would think that glow plastic is glow plastic, but that's not the case. In fact, most disc golf brands offer some discs in glow plastic, but the amount of glow that those discs offer you can be very, very different. I'm holding up a disc right now from the MVP Space Race last year. Anything under that umbrella of MVP, Axiom, Streamline are giving you something called Eclipse 2.0 plastic. And if the opportunity presents itself to get your hands on some Eclipse 2.0 glow plastic, this is hands down the best glow today. As of right now, it's the brightest glowing plastic that you can find. Now, pros and cons to the brightest glowing plastic. Pro, it's bright, it's easy to find, but there is a con to it, and that's when you're playing at night. Sometimes these discs are glowing so bright that it can actually kind of offset your night vision. Specifically, I would say when you're putting. I prefer a dim glow putter, because if something's really, really bright, it kind of throws off my night vision, and I can't really maybe see the basket as well. We'll talk about basket lighting in another video, but today we're just going to focus on lighting the disc. So MVP, phenomenal glow plastic. Castoplast, another phenomenal glow plastic. A lot of people want to know about the Innovas and the Discrafts, the big brands in our sport. Innova, truthfully, I haven't loved their glow plastic. They offer a lot of color glow. Now, the nice thing with color glow is it can be very visual during the day. It can offer you a solution kind of in a pinch, or if you're not playing a lot of glow. So we're going to start with just my flashlight. You can kind of see how the different discs glow. All right, obviously it's a little dark on my face, but that's not the focus right now. We're going to show, basically I've got my flashlight over here. Kick that on, you can see it there. And I've got a couple of options here. This first one is an RPM color glow as I drop it. And you can see here that just by swinging the flashlight around here, I can actually get that disc to glow. It's getting dim rather quickly here. And I have the exact same disc in probably more of a traditional glow, which we can show as well. RPM does offer some nice glow, but I would say it's not in the same category as the MVPs and the Castoplast. But you can see that one there. Actually, probably like a little bit brighter, but you can see even as we're talking here, this is getting dimmer like as we go here. Next up is my signed Paige Pierce Passion. We'll just have a quick look at this one here. I would say that Discraft and Innova both not really known for their glow, although I have heard that they've been putting more time and effort into that lately. This is pretty good. It's not too bad, and again, you can kind of see, you know, as we're on camera here, this is kind of starting to dim, and you can see that the one up top here, you know, you can see it because I've got a light on, but you can already see that that one's, you know, the RPM is not held up as well as maybe you would hope for. Now let's get to Innova. This is my Sexton Firebird, and again, the cool thing with color glow, and I do love color glow for the fact that, you know, it can really serve a purpose during the day. A lot of times I'm out for a day round and someone will say, oh, what color is your disc? And I'll say, oh, it's like, you know, cream colored, basically. It's a glow disc. People are, you know, usually disappointed to hear that as we're like searching for a disc. If you are always searching for a disc, I will leave a link down in the description to a product we just did a review on, the Meet Meep Disc Golf Tracker. Speaking of finding our discs, here's my Sexton Firebird. Again, I would kind of put it probably like in the same category. This is dimming already. And again, I feel like you can see almost immediately, yeah, you can just see it's losing its hold on the glow. And that's the biggest thing, you know, you need this to glow long enough so that you can get to your shot, find your disc. That's essentially it. All right, now on to some of the heavy hitters in this sport. We'll start with Castoplast. This is my glow yarn, and you can probably see this one notably brighter. You're gonna notice that that's probably gonna hold its glow well. I'm gonna grab an MVP uplink. This is that 2.0. Another good idea is to change out the batteries come the beginning of glow season, because as your batteries start to lose their power, so will the effectiveness of your UV flashlight. But again, looking at this one, you can definitely see this one here is even brighter. And, you know, my Castoplast is here. Still got a little bit to it. And then again, it's hard to get lighting dialed for a video talking about discs that glow in the dark. You can see that even like right now, that Castoplast is probably comparable to this MVP disc, which I lit, you know, maybe a minute ago now. So the MVP stuff really holds its glow for a while, and I think that's an amazing factor to consider. And it has me throwing a lot of MVP lately because I play a lot of glow. So my bag doesn't really change a whole lot from, you know, summer long days throwing day rounds to throwing night rounds, because I like the idea of like knowing how my discs fly. And speaking of how a disc flies, glow plastic typically flies more overstable to a non-glow version of that disc. And as a result, because of throwing a lot of glow plastic, I tend to throw more traditionally understable discs, because in glow plastic they're going to fly more stable, and because of that, it kind of gives me a bit of a balance out. Not to mention, on top of that, Calgary is at about 1,000 meters elevation, so my discs are already flying more stable than someone playing at sea level. You might look at my bag and go, wow, that's a lot of understable stuff in that bag, but I'm combating a couple of different factors when I throw a ton of glow plastic, because I play a lot at night, and I don't typically have like a glow bag and a non-glow bag. I play so much glow that I kind of throw a significant number of discs that are glow, and I don't like to switch back and forth because there's a variation in how those discs fly. So I've decided to try to make my glow bag my like everyday bag too. All right, so we've covered the flashlight, we've covered a few different types of plastic from a couple of different brands. And I forgot one. How could I forget my glow mantra? Now these are made by MVP, but they are not Eclipse 2.0. I think they're like Eclipse 1.0, so they're not quite as bright as the MVP 2.0. But for my uses, again, more than enough. Thought Space Athletics does do great glow. I would position Thought Space below Castoplast, but not in the same category as like the MVP Eclipse 2.0. I wanted to also just mention real quick that Lone Star does have some bright glowing plastic as well. I'll throw a few up on screen. The other factor to consider is where you're playing. If you're right near a parking lot where there's a lot of bright light overhead, brighter discs are going to be necessary. If you're out in a forest or playing somewhere wooded where it can be quite dark, you can definitely get away with like less bright glowing discs. Okay, having said that, obviously all you need really is a disc that glows and a flashlight, and you can start. And that's another thing that I like about it. You know, again, it's that whole thing that we love about disc golf. It's very accessible. So that will kind of wrap up just talking about the plastic and the discs to get us started. Be sure to tune in to our next episode. We're going to talk a little bit about lighting solutions, where we look at obviously the flashlight, but we've got a number of other unique items. I will leave a link to that video right here, and we will see you in that video.